Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scorpio here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for tarot scopes. I'm going to be doing the tarot scopes for the sign of Scorpio for the month of March 2023. That's Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, and Scorpio Rising. Before we get to the reading, I'd like to just quickly go over some astrology, some significant astrology that's happening this month. But for a more detailed look at the astrology and what's going on this month, you can check out my astrology and Kabbalah of March. Guess you could check November too, last November maybe, but March 2023. And I'm going to be doing weekly videos on the astrology of the week because so much is happening, so significant that I think it's important to get the information out there, so you can check that out. So let's talk about the astrology. First of all, we have a couple of things. We have the sun in Pisces starting the month. And then we move into Aries, right, on the 20th. We also have a new moon in Aries. Aries for you, Taurus, is your house of health. So this is a time for you to pay attention to your health. We also have Chiron conjunct Jupiter in Aries in that sixth house of yours. So this is a good time to explore new ways of healing, maybe some vibrational medicine, some homeopathic remedies, maybe something new, something different for you to help you navigate this time. We also have, of course, Saturn moving into Pisces, which is a fellow water sign. So the Saturn energy will be trining you, any planets you have in Scorpio, and that's supportive. So you'll have support with Saturn Pisces, but Saturn Pisces does test our beliefs and test our dreams. We could also make our dreams a reality with Saturn and Pisces, or we can see our dreams for what they are, like clouds in the sky with no real chance of manifesting themselves. One way or the other, we're going to get an eyeful of what we can do and what we can't. And then your ruling planet, Pluto, moves into Aquarius this month on the 23rd, and it's there until, what did I say, June 12th. So it's not there very long. We're going to keep our ears and eyes open to see what kind of things come up in the period of time that Pluto is in Aquarius, sort of like a prelude to the next 22 years. So that will be interesting. But for you specifically, this is a sign. It is a fixed sign, just like your sun or your ascendant or your moon is in fixity. It does square, but it is Pluto. And so a square to Pluto requires us to make a change. And for you, it is an action. You have to take an action step. Now, don't get nervous because you're going to have plenty of time with Pluto in Aquarius to do that because it's there for 20 years. But this is about stepping forward and building the foundations that you can sort of build your life upon through your own sort of experience and your own understanding and your own understanding what was wrought in the past, and do you want to continue that, or do you want to make a new present that your future is different, right? So there's that. All right, so that's what's going on. Let me see if I can find my cards here. I always seem to gravitate towards my witches deck when I'm working with Scorpio. It's a habit I can't seem to break. So if you have complaints that I'm always using the same deck, that's okay. I understand. I'll do my best all the same. This is one of my oldest and dearest decks. Scorpio is nothing to mess around with. So I want to make sure that you get my best. All right, Scorpio. You're also you're co-ruled by Mars, and Mars is still in Gemini. Mars isn't actually going to be out of its shadow to the end of March. It's retrograde shadow, and then it's going to go out and go into Cancer, which it's not that excited about. That's going to happen in March too. That happens on the 25th. But that is trine it's water, trining water. So while Mars doesn't necessarily like being in Cancer, as it loves being in Scorpio, by the way, you can still access it pretty easily. So good news, good news. So some things are going well, flowing, and some things are going to be challenging. But isn't that what life's all about? Oh, goodness gracious. Everything's flying, flying, flying high. Almost done, almost done. I just want to make sure I have all the cards here. I feel like I don't have all the cards. I do. They just seem skinny today. Probably because they're so old and I've like sort of worn off all the pictures. They don't take up as much space as they used to. All right, let's see what we have here. Well, doesn't it just feel that way? You are climbing. You are ascending, but it's treacherous. Evolution is not for sissies, folks. But you're in search for love, really. You're in search for love. It is worth the climb, but it can be somewhat treacherous. Let's see the challenge here. The challenge is to take you're thinking about things right now. What are you thinking about? You're trying to devise a plan. I think you're trying to devise a plan to get up this hill a little bit easier than what it seems like it's going to be. So you're devising strategies. You're devising strategies on how to get what it is that you want, honestly. Let's see what's underneath it all. Empress, creative imagination. This is an energy of fertility, fecundity, manifestation. The challenge is, how do I plan to take actions so that I attain my goal without like falling to the bottom of the hill and killing myself, based on your creative imagination. So one of the ways that you can help this is by visualizing yourself doing what it is you want to accomplish. So if you have a job interview, you want to spend time in quiet, you go through how it's going to go in your head. They're asking you questions, you're answering, they're loving what you're saying, they shake your hand, they offer you the job. It's like this is a way for you to create magic, because that's what magic is. Magic is using your imagination to affect the physical world, and that's how we do it. That's how we do it. In the past, okay, somebody recently took an action, or a last action was taken to allow somebody back into the fold. So somebody has come back into the fold. There's a sense of welcoming somebody back, and it was done. That was what was done. Let's see what's in the sky. The Ace of Wands, so new creative opportunities. So this is good. This is good. Goes along very nicely with the Empress card. So opportunities abound. Let's see what's in the immediate future. The ending of a cycle and the beginning of another. Something is coming to fruition this month for you, but it's an ending of sorts. How it's seen from the outside, that you're the magician. Now, this magician always reminds me of Neil Young. So this is my Neil Young magician. Keep rocking in the free world. Ooh, 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 ooh. Domestic situation, the 8 of Wands. Studying. You're going to be studying something. Maybe whatever new thing that you're going to do, you're going to have to study for it. You're going to have to take a class for it. Your hopes and fears, happiness. I doubt you fear it. Outcome, we have, is that the 7? We have the 7 of Pentacles. This is, in this deck, always seems to me like the creator card, right? You're creating, you're utilizing your imagination, you're utilizing your skill set to create the life that you want. So I'm going to pick 3 cards, see if I can get a major arcana. The Queen of Wands. This is taking the first step in an idea. This is visualization. Also, this is not limiting yourself to your vision. So you have a vision, you're working towards it, you put the energy towards it, and then at the end say that or better. Right? That's an old witch trick, by the way. And the 5 of Swords. So there's some there's this sense of once you have something worth having, that's when you start worrying about losing it. So there's always a little reticence, I think, when we want to manifest things, that if we actually manifest what we want, what happens if it gets taken away, or what, or maybe even worse, what next? What next? There's always a next thing. Underneath it all, we have the Ace of Pentacles, wonderful card. This is about new opportunities, but it is going to take work. We have the Judgment card, the Awakened Soul, and we have the 7 of Swords. In this deck, it's a little different. It's about putting down your swords and having a good time. Having a good time. So it's interesting because we have this was one of the outcome cards, right? All these swords here. And then underneath it all, we see that the swords are down and people are having a good time in the garden here. So I'm not going to say you're not going to have any resistance, because you wouldn't be a Scorpio worth your salt if you didn't have some resistance by somebody. But I think ultimately there is this sense of this month something coming to an end, and then we start something new. And that's really the energy of the month anyway, with all these big changes that are happening. We're not going to be the same people we were when we started this month. So you're right along with it, Scorpio. All right, cool. So the last thing I want to do is I want to do an oracle card for this month for Scorpio, keeping in mind the changes, the astrological changes, perhaps, or not. Just a card that Scorpio, something Scorpio needs to hear. So let me pull that. I am using the Spirit of the Wheel Oracle deck. I'm using the same Oracle deck for all of the readings this month. So this is a beautiful deck. I like to tell the story of this deck. I found this in Portland, Oregon, and people who live in Portland will know where I got it. I got it at that store that has all metaphysical stuff. It's right on the main drag there, and it's an old Victorian. Somebody said, if you like metaphysical stuff, go. Like, I had to choose like which bookstore I was going to go to when I was in Portland, and they said, go to the metaphysical one. It's like it's like a regular bookstore, only it's all that kind of stuff. So freaking love Oregon, and I love Portland. All right, I read that it's the most tattooed city. I don't know, there were a lot of tattoos. A little reticent about tattoos. I have trouble committing forever. I was almost 40 when I got married, so you can imagine how easy it was for me to commit. All right, let's see what we got going here. Thought I saw an orb there. Must be hallucinating. It happens. My face is so white that it's like changing the. Maybe that's better. It's and when my face is when the light changes the whole. My husband calls me a glowworm. That just cracks me up. Okay. Cleansing, spirit path of the north, release burdens, detoxification, and energy flow. Somebody else got this. It might be you, because if you're doing your sun, your moon, and your ascendant, you might have got this twice. All right, here we go. 29. All right, and I'll hold it up because it's such a pretty card. Let's see if we can see what we have here. Was that a bear down there? Looks like a bear. Is that a bear? Sorry, I'm very. No, I think it's a buffalo. I don't know what it is. Look, it's a bear. Oh, it's a grizzly bear. It's a grizzly bear. Grizz. Hey, Grizz. Okay, here we go. The cleansing card signifies a time to release some of your heavy burden and responsibilities. Cleansing means detoxifying on every level, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Over time, burdens create negativity and fatigue, which continue to build if we do not release them and breathe our way into a cleaner, healthier lifestyle. Learn to live in the moment and move along with life circumstances instead of fighting them. Sometimes we cannot change the circumstances that occur within our lives, but have control over our own reaction to them. Let things unfold now, even if you are fearful of what lies ahead. Delegate some of the responsibilities you have recently taken on. Respect and nurture yourself by setting your own personal boundaries. This means helping others only when you are not sacrificing yourself in the process. Cleansing yourself will make room for a more positive, healthier energy flow. And your prayer is, I open my mind, body, and spirit to the cleansing I need. Through the release of my burdens, I am more open to the love and support of myself and others. Oh, isn't that sweet? Maybe it doesn't need to be such a precipitous climb after all. Maybe it just starts with cleaning your own energy field and doing what's best. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to get focused. Ooh. This drives me crazy. I'm so sorry, guys. Well, again, I'll just be unfocused. I'm okay with that. So be careful out there, guys. It's going to be a little bit nuts. Utilize your instincts and your intuition, which is always spot on generally, except sometimes with other people. Sometimes with the love, we get confused. Oh, I see myself. Did that work? Oh, no, but I saw an orb. The orbs are screwing with me today. So if you're interested in learning about the Kabbalah and numerology, the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life, I'm doing an introductory class from the 6th to the 10th, 6th of March to the 10th of April. It's held on consecutive Mondays, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You don't have to be in the class to take the class. After every class, I send all the students who registered the class and then all the information that comes from the class. So if you're interested in that, please join us. I try to keep it reasonable. Otherwise, you can check out my astrology. That's going to be coming out, the astrology and Kabbalah of March, or you can check out any of my videos. There are plenty of them to choose from. Thank you once again. Oh, and I do have a Patreon page if you want to be a patron. That will help me to do more stuff on YouTube, and I do some special stuff on Patreon only for the patrons. So if you want to be special, you can. Links below. Take care, everyone. And much love to you. Stay safe. Namaste.